What up, baby?
Hey, hey, hey. Where are you?
Dude, where am I? Hey, sweet pie. You have a good walk with mama.
Hey, you guys come in? Everyone says it started to rain a little bit. Not too bad, but it's enough to apparently that notification was her just giving a thumbs up to find the line.
Cool. Getting some really good feedback on today's video. That's cool.
Hang on. Still trying to figure this out. Why is it frozen? I don't understand what's going on here. Crap. Alright, I'm gonna have to reset. Something's not working right. Oh, well, that's working fine now. Okay. Alright, I'll check the feed here real quick. Make sure we're good. Okay. Alright, let me fix that because a couple I need to, there you go. That looks good. Can you see yourself at all on the live stream at all? Do you have something you can play?
Live stream.
Just so you can at least see what's going on.
Are we live?
We are live, man. I don't know what's going on with my with this overlay, my second overlay, but it's just not behaving at all. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm gonna have to just redo it. Oh well.
What's wrong with that?
Holy crap, how long have you been in?
Hmm?
I said, how long? Oh, how long have you been in? Holy crap, how long have you been in? Let me mute myself.
Okay.
I said, how long? Yeah, so man, we got Archer and Darklight in the chat.
Yeah, they just jumped on. So here, let me pull up. Can you see? But can you see the? Can you see
The
the
overlay,
chat?
yeah, looks good.
Okay, so let me go ahead and do this, and we'll transition now. There you go. So now there's a chat that's on our chat's going to be on a page.
Cool.
And let me go to studio mode. There we go. You can see what's going on.
Darklight Dreamer says, I'm doing all right, my brother. Off tonight, so I'm playing some Division 2.
Oh, nice.
I'm actually about to be jumping on some Division 1 myself. Archer is painting his 30k arm on and trying a couple of test layers to figure out the best way to spray red.
Yeah, cut your finger. Let it bleed out. Typically the way I do it.
That'll be helpful.
Spray red, right?
I don't think the finger will do it. I think the spray red, you're going to have to go with like arterial and stuff like that. Not that we're encouraging anyone to do bad things.
Yeah, that would be not good. That would be bad. Bad.
We got
bad,
Atomic
bad.
Dog Scale Model Freak Brian in the chat says, dude, what's this on a Wednesday night? Freak spent today programming this new overlay that you're looking at right now. And so we're just kind of testing it out and seeing how it looks. And he had the cool idea of putting our pictures right here in the icon of our logo.
Yeah, it kind of works.
It's so weird because I'm watching the stream, not watching what we record, and because of the delay.
The delay.
Yeah, it's like a really bad voiceover, like of an old kung fu movie where I'm hearing you talk and then I'm watching your mouth move.
Well, I mean, this is pretty much what we'll have. So I took out that old chat box, and you can see I put a different Cascade style sheeting on there.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely looks way better. And it's a little easier on the eyes,
You're easy on the eyes.
What? So anyway, yeah, this is it.
Brian, I was just watching your Tossing the Bones earlier, so seems pretty awesome so far. I like your plan of painting one model a day and knocking out an orc horde that way. That was actually my plan with the 20 Electro Priest that I did for my AdMech. And then at some point, I just wanted to hurry up and get it done, and I batch painted. And I shouldn't have batch painted because that kind of killed my enthusiasm for the AdMech. But your plan, the one model a day, knocking out a horde one model at a time, that's the better way to do it, I think, instead of trying to really just hustle through 20. Archer says makes it easier to keep track of the chat for sure. I think that, yeah, absolutely. Normally what I have to do is try and bounce between what I'm looking at on our video feed and what I'm looking at through a secondary account on YouTube. Doing this actually helps me be able to watch both.
Right. Yeah, it definitely makes it easier. And like I said, everybody else can too, instead of like, oh my God, what's going on here?
No, yeah, because sometimes it's kind of disorienting what we're responding to.
Right.
But if it shows up here, not only the people in today's live chat can see what we're responding to, but also people who go back and watch the archives.
Right, and of course if they have the smaller phones where it makes it harder to see this by chance, then you can still go back to the original, live chat for YouTube. So
sure,
it works out.
JamJar34 says love from the Hobby Kitchen with UK love. That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
Good to see you, Jamjar, my man.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys are liking it. This is like it took a little work to put it together. I mean, we already had the logo, so we just wanted to kind of work on a little something. You can see the little scrolling marquee. That's going to change, at each stream, and yeah, I think it's going to work for us.
I love the inspiration that you did, since our logos are right next to each other. Which one of us is Frost? Which one of us is Fist?
Yeah.
and then overlaying us on top of our side of the logo.
Yeah, it kind of works out. So
Maybe it will become clear now to which one of us is the Imperial Fist.
right. I'm Freak. I play Imperial Fist.
It's funny how often we get confused for each other.
I don't know. I don't know how that happens. I mean, sure, we hang out a lot. Do we really look that similar?
No.
I don't see it. So, but hey, you know, hey. So it's okay.
Brian says his plan of batch painting keeps him from going crazy. Dude, mad respect for anyone who completes a painted army.
Man.
I know, especially like people, Devil's Brush Gaming, Elstonation, people who are like, yeah, I knocked out a 2,500 point army in about 2.5 weeks. I'm like,
No.
how? Like,
No, they're not human.
I agonize over doing a unit at a time, and heaven forbid I have to batch paint anything more than 5 models. Razzie says, hey, which one to use the Frosty and which one's the Fisty? Well, hello there. Freak the Fisting? That should have been your D&D name.
No. If you guys are wondering, we actually, our buddy Atlas, y'all seen him. If y'all seen some of our old videos, he's been in a couple of our battle reports, and he reached out to us and asked if we would be interested in joining him in a little D&D adventure. He would DM for us, and Mythos and I would, jump on. And I have not played D&D since I was 14, 15. Oh God, it's been so long. So yeah, we got our data sheets and all that. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going as a half elf pally. Really excited, and Mythos, he can tell you what he's going as.
Mythos is going as a human warrior, but my theme is kind of even though I'm a warrior, I'm looking at being an ex-knight, having served a kingdom and abandoned that role.
Great, awesome. We came up with a really cool storyline on how our characters came to be, and it's almost something out of a movie. I'm serious. It's like, wow, I can't believe we came up with that. That was awesome.
Something I'm thinking about doing, and you guys let me know. Of course, we'll ask again in the live chat, in the actual Friday live chat. But one of the things that I wanted to look at doing is maybe doing a video where, whenever we have one of these D&D sessions, kind of a recap of what we did during that, just an epic telling of what our adventure was like, you and me, just kind of chatting like a post-game chat,
Yeah, we'll probably do that.
And that way, our anyone who follows our channel and is interested in D&D, they can, without having to sit through the hours and hours and hours of, role playing and dice rolling and whatnot, they can still follow along our story and our progress and see what we did.
Right.
And also, it probably is going to be for the best that they don't see, every single, roll we make, every rule we get right or wrong, because we're going into this without either of us being super, super, super experienced in D&D. I've role played many, many things, and things that are like D&D, such as the Dragon Age system, which is based off of one of the D&D variations. I've played a lot of White Wolf. I've played a lot. Holy crap! I played a lot of different role-playing games that were similar, but actual D&D, I've started 5 campaigns, but I haven't really made it past 2 or 3 sections, in each of those.
Right. Yes, 5th edition. Yep.
Let's see. Tommy Dog Scale Model Freak. Now it looks like, hey, now it looks like you have 2 tech stuff down. Now the challenge being consistent on the horizon, the C word. Oh yeah, that's always been the biggest struggle for our channel, is maintaining consistency.
Yeah.
We missed a week last week, the week before last week, and we missed one more before that. But somewhere in there, I mean, we've actually done a pretty good job of doing consistent streams and one more video through the week this year. So
yeah, typically Fridays. Yeah, Fridays we do a good job at trying to maintaining at 8 or an 8:30 start time, and that's what we're going to continue. This right here, again, this is just to test, make sure that we've got something to, something a little better to put out for our streams, and it definitely is, I think, head over shoulders way better than what we've had, and that's what I was looking for. And like I said, as we're talking, I'm kind of making some tweaks here. You've probably seen the chat box jump a bit, and that was me.
Yeah, a second ago.
Yeah, that's because I realized that the chat box was too far down, so I'm considering maybe cutting it in half, because I think it'd be harder to read. It gets washed out when it gets to the frost part.
Oh yeah, because of the color. You're right.
Yeah, so let me see if I can just bring that up a little
But
bit.
Brian believes us. He says we can do it. Stick with the consistency and really make our channel grow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Archer seems to like the idea of us sharing what happened in our D&D adventures. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think that'd be cool. Just kind of have like a debriefing, just share our adventures and what's happened, and how many times I died.
You can't die. You're the healer.
Oh yeah.
Let me rephrase that. He shouldn't die.
He shouldn't die. Yeah, I can see Mythos. All right, you get a freak. Wait, what? Go. You got this. No,
Freak?
no.
Freak? Freak?
DM says, Freak cannot speak to you. Freak is dead.
Are we going to register for the D&D Adventure League thing? Nope. We are starting off as just a couple of somewhat noobs. Even though this is like my 6th time in, I still don't really know the rules of D&D enough to consider myself, anything other than a noob. And I'm going to be honest with you. I just showed up with some beer to roll some dice the previous times I played D&D. I never really got into the why we're rolling what dice or what stats affect what and stuff like that. And it's not been the same editions either, I've had one game of just a few sessions with 5th edition here, and I felt so lost because, I played some of the previous editions where a build like a fighter with throwing knives beat out most specializations, stat-wise and damage-wise. And, I was trying to play a similar character, build a knife-throwing character because, if some of you have seen the channel before, know that I like to throw knives. I used to do it as a hobby before I got into this hobby. And I enjoy knife throwing. I tried building another knife throwing character, and man, I was so lost. I didn't know what feats to take. The build didn't seem to work out. Just in general, it just seemed like most of my D&D knowledge wasn't useful anymore. So, Brian says rules. Bah. He played D&D back in the early '80s and dabbled in Gamble World too. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, D&D is what really kind of got me looking at the whole role playing thing. That's what actually kind of helped me get into World of Warcraft. I just loved the role playing aspect of it. I think we've talked about this before. There was another game similar to D&D that I'd gotten into called Star Frontiers. And, man, I just loved it. That was more of the, what do you call it, more of the sci-fi, and it was just a lot of fun. We just had a blast. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, man.
Tonight will be our first demo game, so we're gonna try there. We'll make some notes, and then
Yeah.
of course Friday will be our live stream. So sometime after that, Freak and I will look at trying to sit down and maybe over Google Hangouts or whatever, trying to recap our adventures for you guys and record that record that as a YouTube video or something.
Yeah, I think
To
that would
give
be a
you a
lot of
weekly
fun.
recap of what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. So, did you want to discuss about the issues you're having with your airbrush, or do you want to do that offline, or what do you want to do?
We can.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, this would be a good opportunity to kind of share, things that we can do. I mean, since we're here now, folks watching us can, of course, those who don't have much experience, they can actually get something out of this. So,
you can troubleshoot along with me.
yeah, definitely.
I just need a minute to finish up this silver while the
What
paint's
you
wet.
working on?
Just the shoulder pad. It's a Wolfen shoulder pad that I'm using for one of my Rune priests.
Hmm.
I once listened to an audiobook. It was actually a Games Workshop audio drama called The 13th Company, about the disappeared 13th Freight Company of Space Wolves
Space Wolf, yeah.
that disappeared on Prospero. Have I ever let you borrow that or listen to that? It's really good.
No, I haven't yet. No.
Now that you're a Space Wolf, I gotta let you listen. But I gotta figure out who I loaned it to last, actually. But the 13th Company, and anyways, they don't really trust Rune priests all that much. So one of them's trying to give them a warning, and they kind of shrug it off. But the way they pronounce it in the audio drama is a Rune priest.
Rune priest.
Their accent gets like 10 times thicker whenever they're talking about the Rune priest.
Of course.
So I feel obligated to pronounce it that way every single time now. I'm like, this is how they pronounce it on Fenris.
It's fun, Brian. You mentioned WoW. Oh my gosh. Okay, so World of Warcraft was my deal. That was like my poison, and of course I went as a pally, a Healadin of all things. That was my main, and it's still my main somewhere out there. I haven't played in years, but I mean, when was it? Lich King. Lich King is when I was really enjoying it. After Lich King, yeah, just lost interest. But definitely love WoW.
Nothing?
What what was that?
Huh?
What?
Nothing? Now, a little Kenny Boucher action. I keep a hairdryer plugged up underneath my desk when I need a paint or a wash to dry extra quickly.
Okay, I can see that. I couldn't get into Rogue. I thought the Rogue was pretty cool, and they were typically good DPS, but I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. There was just, in some ways, I don't know. Maybe I just felt that it was just they were a little too OP. Like I said, I didn't really care for the Rogue a whole lot. Me being
Hey. No need to call names, Brian. I spent almost my entire WoW career as a sword rogue. Sword rogues are amazing.
That's right, swords, not daggers.
I don't like playing dagger rogue.
Yeah. Wow.
Sword rogue is where it was at for me.
2008, 2017. Okay, when did I start playing? Okay, when did Burning Crusades come out?
Yeah, Burning Crusade is where I really got serious myself.
Yeah. Because Burning
I played a
Crusade
little
was the
bit before
first.
that.
Actually, Burning Crusade was the first expansion.
Yep.
That's when I started playing. You know, when we wound up going on that other dimension. You know, and gosh, man, that was just so much fun. Yeah, does anybody remember when Burning Crusade came out? Let us know in a chat. I'm really curious. It's been so long.
Tiffany says 2005 or 2006.
2005, 2006. Okay.
No, we all started around the same time. Archer also started in 2005. Brian was a warrior from 2008 to 2017.
Wow. Tank and spank, baby.
Hey, I have many, many years proudly serving as a sword rogue. However, eventually I hopped over to a Blood Elf warrior whenever we were allowed to be warriors, just because, yeah.
Did they really? They came back as with vanilla, so...
Oh, yeah, there's World of Warcraft Vanilla. It's just the original.
The original one?
We're back up to Burning Crusade.
See, I'd be all about it. I would actually consider going back with just those two. And you know what's funny? Yep, they brought back Vanilla. Burning Crusade's old enough to be as rebellious teenager. I spit on. Wow, wow, man! There's some salt coming from the chat.
Speaking of salt, man, I can't keep you on Final Fantasy for more than 10 minutes at a time, and you're already ready to jump back on WoW Vanilla. I see how it is.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Wait, these aren't the droids I'm looking for.
Yeah, I do miss it. I remember running Kara. Gosh, that was so much fun, man, and so many really good drops. Give me a priest, I'm unstoppable, but that was very rare. Well, yeah, you know, at one point, a priest actually was head to head with on DPS with a lock, which I found kind of weird. You know, when priest first came out, they were just healing. Next thing you know, I'm watching these priests go shadow and just destroy stuff. Like, good grief. You know, remember when it first came out, Mythos? Okay, there were no quest guides. You actually had to go and find the actual. Okay, you found a quest giver, but to actually find the quest itself, or to find the area of the quest, you actually had to literally go looking around for it. There were no arrows or guides or anything showing you where to look. Yeah. See, I never did the whole PvP thing. I kind of stayed away. I always stayed, you know, PvE. I just didn't, just don't like being ganked by anybody. You know, I don't know. Nah, that doesn't appeal to me.
I PvP'd a lot, and not because I like PvP, but I PvP'd a lot specifically to get my White Wolf and Black Wolf mounts.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yes, right. You're on foot the whole freaking time. Now, here's the thing. That's another reason why I like the Pally, because the Pally was able to get his first mount at level 35, I believe, which was a little sooner than anybody else got their mounts. So, yeah, that was actually pretty freaking sweet. So, man, reminiscing, man. It's good times. Jeez. Yeah, once they came out with all those other crazy patches, you know, Pandaria and I don't know, all that other crap, I was like, I'm done. I'm so done. Yes, yeah, Retribution Pallies were absolutely scary. Ooh, what do you have there?
Check that out. So that's my Rune Priest with wings. So I'm rocking purple glow for
Okay.
for the wings and for the force weapons.
It's beautiful. I hate it. Okay.
And of course, I'm going to do my just like on my wolf priest that you can't stand, the rune priest, where the wolf priest had a fade to blue,
Yeah.
Blue to white on the wings.
You got
The
it on the
rune
purple.
priests are going to be purple to white.
Very nice. Very nice, man.
So what's going to be cool is when I run 3 of these, when I cast Living Lightning, I'll be able to cast it and do D6 damage for Living Lightning, which will be cool.
No.
And then if I finish
No.
off a unit with that, it for free hops to another nearby unit and casts D6 damage
No.
for free again.
No. No. You'll be playing alone. You'll be playing alone. All by your lonesome. Nope.
I mean, on the bright side, that's like 350 points in HQs. I'm taxing myself right there just to try out that one formation.
Horse crap.
See what you're saying? I see what you're saying. Hey, but we'll be able to do a battle of your Psychers versus my Psychers. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Warriors can't really PvP that well. I have to disagree because my sword rogue warriors were very good at stomping on rogues. But one time, I felt like a god because I had, while trying to earn my 2 wolf mounts, again, your wolf brother had to make it, get both wolf mounts that existed at the time. I ended up getting the gladiator slicer and the gladiator something else that was like a gladiator stab or whatever, but they look like purple lightsabers. And anyways, I felt so cool. I ended up getting like so many tells from people on my team, like, that was awesome. Because I was trying to sneak through the forest, and some warrior was just sitting there in the middle of like this back forest area, like I guess waiting for rogues like me to try and sneak through, which apparently his intuition was pretty good. And so I tried sneaking past him. He ended up seeing me, and so he ended up charging me. Well, in the middle of charging, I sapped him and stunned him, and then I was slicing him up. And back then, you could disarm, and disarm before it got nerfed actually made them have no weapon for like 15 seconds. So I was slicing up, and it takes forever for a rogue to chip away at a warrior's health. But I managed to do it. And then after that, I used my Vanish and sapped him again. And chip. And then after that, I activated my Perfect Dodge ability and dodged him and was still cutting him up. And by then, my disarm refresh was back up, and I disarmed him. And so the guy was either stunned or disarmed for pretty much our entire fight. It took forever, but I managed to chip away a warrior to death. And everybody was like, did you just kill a warrior with a rogue? That was awesome. Yeah, I went toe-to-toe, hand-to-hand, no backstabbies. Because I was a sword rogue, I didn't have backstabbies.
That sounds like the fight in the Ballad of the Noob. Do you remember that?
The crazy thing is that, like, I felt epic, and it seemed like the very next week, they nerfed disarm. They were like, this is a little too powerful.
Probably because of you. You broke it.
I'm sure it wasn't me that broke it, but I want to feel like it was me that broke it. So my airbrush.
Yes.
So the problem I had is that I went to use it tonight, and I've been airbrushing quite a bit this week.
Okay.
Mostly because I went in and I did the frost effects on the claws here and the plasma, and then I did the glow effects on some of the swords and stuff like that for my force weapons, or sorry, runic weapons.
Right.
And anyways, I airbrushed quite a bit this week.
Okay.
And I went to use it tonight, and nothing. Not even a water would shoot out of the trigger. So
Okay.
I broke it all down. And while I was breaking it all down, I realized that it may not have been because it was dirty. My back plate to the trigger here was all loose and not centered. It was all wonky and turned sideways. And
Okay.
so, anyways, so I looked up a couple of guides, broke it down completely, and after I broke it down, I followed all the instructions to put it back together what I thought was correctly.
Right.
My problem is that now pulling back on the lever does not cause this to go back.
Okay, so basically what it looks like the spring, it's not somehow the spring is not allowing to push the actual needle back into the seated position. So what you want to do is you want to see what's keeping the spring from pushing back that needle guide. Okay, so that lever that you see, the part where the trigger actually pulls back on, okay, that actually pulls back, and it's like I said, its attention is held on there by the spring. So if you
it should push up against the trigger then.
Yeah. So if you don't feel any tension on that, that means that the spring either is not there or it's not seated right. So I would pull that out, pull the back part out, and see if the spring is not overly compressed. But that's what it looks like. It's just not seating or not putting any pressure at all on that trigger. You should be able to take that whole thing out. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but let me see. Let me get mine real quick.
Okay, so
yeah, there you go.
No.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. So this should be bouncy, right?
Yeah, this should be good tension.
That was the problem before, right?
Uh-huh.
It wasn't. Then I can throw my trigger across the way.
Okay, so show me the piece that that the trigger that actually pushes against the trigger. Do you see that?
The
yes,
trigger.
Yeah. So that. Okay, make sure that moves back and forth. That's not binding. If it's not binding, then you're good. It should move all the way up against the trigger.
Yeah, it moves just fine.
Okay. So go ahead and put that piece back in. And here's the thing, I believe. Okay, on some airbrushes, you can actually adjust the tension of the amount of tension of that spring by tightening that screw on the inside of the body. Now, once you put it in, that you should start seeing or feeling some tension on that little lever. You can also get some WD-40 and spray that on the inside.
Yeah, I did that earlier tonight. Love you, baby. Have a good night. Love you, baby. Have a good night. So I believe I'm a dork.
Why do you say that, Bubba?
I think I figured out why my trigger wouldn't pull back.
Okay.
Let me get this back together and see if my hypothesis is correct.
Okay. Let me go hook this up.
And then if anyone's watching this right now, like, man, these guys are some subject matter experts. I have definitely never professed to be any kind of airbrush subject matter expert on this show.
Well, we just use them as tools, and we learn as we go. And that's all we do.
Yep. Yep. Found why my trigger wasn't getting any action. Your brother's a dork.
Well, we're good. You can plead the fifth. We're good.
So that trigger backplate,
Mm-hmm.
I may have inserted it backwards.
I'm sure you probably were putting it together with the lights off. It was dark. You were putting it together, and power went out. You're like, oh crap! I hope this works. You know? Yeah.
Okay, so my needle placement is probably not correct though. Probably needs to be a little more forward because it's still spraying even when I'm
Yeah.
not pulling back at all.
I would push it all the way to the front and let it seat.
There we go. Try. Anything in the chat?
Nope, still the same. I think we ran everybody off.
With my airbrush mastery.
Baby, come back.
Well, I still have some fine tuning to do. It's still spraying a little bit, even without me pulling the trigger back. But at least I've got it. At least it works now. It functions.
Yeah. And here's the thing. And don't forget that if you're spraying a lot, and you haven't really cleaned it much between, take the put some of that the cleaner in, and work the needle back and forth, and then pull it in and out.
Right.
And then yes, because sometimes you may have some stuff in there.
Yeah, I made sure to take the cleaner and give her a thorough cleaning earlier when I thought my problem was that I.
Brian says, "What's an airbrush?" It's the most wonderful tool of all. So that sounded R-rated. Your brother's goofy. So I'm looking at the overall overlay, and I think it works. You notice that the instead of black, I changed the font to blue. So at a quick glance, you kind of
It pops one, sure.
Yeah, everything it kind of gives that purplish blue, look there.
Yeah, I definitely dig it.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Now I did create one for a third person or for a guest, and that one's going to go like right where the and is between Frost and Fist. I just have to get it on there.
I lost track of which part sounded R-rated.
So.
So, what you doing? Since I've been sitting here struggling with the airbrush.
Me?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm just kind of checking everything. I'm actually just
What are
verifying.
our people in the chat doing too?
Well, they're there. You know. Brian says I like to rattle and hum. Yeah. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that, man. You know, some people like to use the rattle cans. You know. He says I have 2 airbrushes. They make great decor right now. Really? Are they busted? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have not picked up my airbrush in a time, and I'm already getting a hankering for it.
Do it.
Yeah, but I want to start putting some stuff that I want. You know, my own stuff. Really thinking of putting the Sicarian together.
Hey, I thought about asking you about something, and I figured a live stream in front of everybody was a great place to ask you for it.
Oh, great. No pressure. Nothing on a spot at all.
No, I really meant to ask you earlier, and then I didn't call you earlier, so.
Well, I'm here now.
Yes, you are. No getting away. Hey, since the amazing people in our live chat,
yep.
I put it up to them Friday on whether or not I should start on my flyers or join the Old Average Brit Gaming Fresh Force Challenge and start painting my ultras. And the common consensus in the chat was to go for the ultras.
Really?
And I was like, well, if I'm starting Fresh Force Challenge, you know, you and I talked about the irony that we started with you painting Space Marines and me painting Space Wolves.
Right.
And now I'm going on to painting Space Marines and you're painting Space Marines.
Yeah.
Maybe you could join the Fresh Force Challenge too. And with, you know, knock out a couple units of your start to your Space Wolves.
I may do that. I may do that.
We can make it a channel thing doing the Fresh Force Challenge.
And who's doing that challenge?
Old Average Brit Gaming, our winner of our 400 subs.
Right. Huh. Yeah, that sounds like it'd be fun. I'd have to see what I want to pull. I'm thinking maybe my cavalry.
Sweet.
You know what I mean?
But, yeah.
But here's the thing, and I was really thinking about you know, what you and I were talking about, whether I wanted to go traditional or go with Atlas's scheme. So I decided to actually just have both. What I'm planning to do is Atlas is, you know, kind of that dark black color scheme. I like it, but I'm going to use those and consider them more my elite teams, you know. And then I'm also going to have my traditional colors because there's so much that I want to do with the traditional, you know, wolf gray, if you will.
Right.
And I think that'd be a great challenge. It's still, I think it's still, yeah. I think there's a lot that I can do there. You know, I've seen some really beautiful work, you know, with the traditional colors on the Space Wolves, and I think having the two and having the fluff where the darker models more like an elite unit, or come up for some reason why their their armor was was black, black and bronze. I don't know. I'll have to put it together, but they look great.
That sounds great, dude.
Yeah, so I'll come up with some fluff, but yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna have to put together those cavalry and a couple of puppies and see what I can come up with.
So Brian uses his airbrushes for his scale model kits. Thomas is in the chat saying, "How's it going? What's up? How's it going? What up, brother?" And the Jam Jar says, "Do it, freak."
Do it.
So I'll shoot you the video that from Old Average Great Gaming. But basically, the Fresh Force Challenge is basically just starting at attachments, right? So HQ and whatever you need. So they're doing battalions on their end, and I think I'm going to do a battalion as well. So 2 HQs and 3 troops. But for Vanguard, since you wanted to do, the Outriders, since you want to do your Thunderwolf Cavalry, you could go in HQ. Some Thunderwolf Cavalry. You actually have to talk about the Thunderwolf Cavalry. I'm not sure you're going to do all of it, but some Thunderwolf Cavalry, some Fenrisian, which I'm bringing you your Fenrisian Wolves.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, I have to see, because I may even consider just painting some of these units that I already have, that I originally had earmarked for, excuse me, for my fist. Really consider just go ahead and paint them, Space Wolves.
I'm doing some of that for some of my ultras, like this repulsor that I bought for my Death Watch. I'm just going to go ahead and make it Marines. Some of these Shadow Spear units that I bought Shadow Spear for my Space Wolves.
Right.
I've decided to split up. Some of them are going to join the Wolves. Some of them are going to join the Ultras. So I'm kind of doing the same.
Yeah, I mean, I've got plenty, so I don't know. I'm actually really debating whether I really want to even paint my Sicuran fists or Space Wolves, and I'm leaning more towards Space Wolves.
Hey, as you've seen with my Space Wolves, they definitely benefit from having some of that firepower support.
Yeah, definitely. So I have to do inventory on my gray my box of gray, and see.
And that's actually why they started the Fresh Force Challenge, was because so many of us have so many, half worked on, piles of gray, and this is kind of a little challenge to help alleviate some of our boxes of gray shame,
Right. Yeah, I'll definitely have that. Lots and lots of it.
Plus, it gets us involved in the community, and I think doing another project with Old Average Brick Gaming would be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely.
Okay. Well, Methus, I hate to cut this short, my man, but I think this test worked out. I do have to fix a bug, and it's this one right here. And I'm not sure why it's pulling up. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. You can see it's pulling up the wrong info here.
That's good.
Yeah, and I'm not really certain, because when I pull up the wait, you know what? See, that's the darndest thing. It's pulling up the wrong
thingamabobber.
Yeah, well, the wrong web browser, and that's not what it's supposed to be. I'm wondering if maybe. Hold on, let me just reset it. Oh, that did it. Let me try this again. Let me try it on this one. All right, I think I may have figured it out. Ah, there we are. There we go.
Did you get it, my brother?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna come pop up in here. Just a second. There he is. Cool. Okay, so it'll start with our bumper music. I'm going to kick it on real quick here, so bear with us, guys. Okay, then I have the stream with just the 2 overlays. Then I have my ticker. I mean, it takes a minute or a few seconds to update.
Ciao.
There it is, and then get our amazing chat up.
There we go. Looks so pro.
Yep. And this is the part that I kind of like. Let me see if it'll work. Nope. Well, wrong.
Jamjar asked, do we have our own chapters or thought about doing it? Freak, so far, is kind of follow the box art kind of guy. It's interesting that he's going to incorporate those alternate colors from Atlas's army into being part of his army. That's going to be really awesome. I myself, my Space Wolves are all custom colored. For instance, my Terminator here, all my Space Wolves are basically black and blue with silver trim.
Hold on a second. There we go. They're nice.
And I consider that, I call them my Silver Moon Space Wolves. Not quite a successor chapter, just a great company that's not talked about very often, unofficial.
Yeah, I think I want to stay as tradition as I can, because I mean, look, there's a lot of you guys that have been playing probably since 2nd edition. You know, I still see myself as kind of new, and I'm kind of, the last 2-3 years, I'm kind of slowly getting into it, you know, getting into the fluff, getting into the characters, getting into the armies, getting a fascination and a respect for each faction. So really I want to embellish and really make those original colors pop, you know. And then once I've established that, then I feel like I can move ahead and start doing my own thing. So, and yeah, I have thought about creating my own chapter, but at this point, it's going to be a while before I actually do it. So,
cool. Brian says, well, first, Thomas says he's had several original chapters, currently building the Order of Lerna, which is awesome. And Brian says he learned a lesson: better to paint separate bits of Verna Boys before putting them together. Yeah, some of the more complicated stuff definitely works better in sub-assembly, I gotta say.
Agreed. Totally agreed. Especially some of the larger, yeah, I think some of the larger, like the vehicles, I mean, those are actually not too bad. But like dreadnoughts, I found that it was a little easier to paint sub-assembly than it was, because I want to be able to get all the wires, the conduit on the inside, paint all those little details, and you really can't do it if it's all put together, because then just frustrates me.
I find the same thing for clothing. So special characters, people with robes, capes, that kind of thing. Half of my frickin' AdMech army. Yeah, those all robes, capes really make a difference on whether or not you can get to the inside. So sub-assembly has definitely become my friend for some of this.
Right.
All right, well, fam, I appreciate you jumping on this test chat. Freak, I'll go ahead and pin up. I've got a thumbnail I've been using for just all of our test streams lately.
Awesome, man. Yep, I saw that. Appreciate that too. So it definitely kind of helps. So guys, again, yeah, really, seriously, thanks so much for helping us. You guys been instrumental to help us test out the chat. Everything looks really good. You tell us, what do you think? Is there something that you think could improve? Is the chat coming too much into Mythos's area? I mean, I can reduce it even more. I think the height is just right. Maybe I can just kind of, you know, change the chat. And this is what I was going to show you. Now, I think it'll work now, Mythos. You can see that where, you know, once it comes up.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about the different news articles and stuff like that, we'll be able to show it.
Exactly, yeah. And then I can always go back to our original. Yeah, it's not broke, so we don't need to fix it. You're right. Yeah, everything. I mean, here's the thing. There's always room for improvement, right? I'm just concerned about the chat. You know, I could always have the chat, you know, word wrap, which is not that big of a deal. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a quick change. Let me see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the width.
Talking about custom chapters, Jamjar is working on a chapter called the Griffin Clause. That sounds badass.
That does, yeah. And we'll do a little more. Let me see how far I can go without really. I think it should be okay. So I'm going to do 600. There. Okay. I think that should be good enough right there. Okay. Because I really don't want it to kind of, you know, it's encroaching. It was encroaching a lot in your space there, Mythos.
That's true, because this is the moneymaker. That's what's going to drive.
Wow. Wow. But yeah, I think this will work a little better. It's not encroaching all the way into your area.
All right, fam. Well, all of you have a great night. You guys, do me a favor and hit that like button to let Freak know that his hard work on working on this overlay is working out really well. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to this channel, then we would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time, guys.
Stay frosty.